Welcome back to SL Chennai Speaks Out. This is our final segment, the difference between miracle and magic.
People who do miracles would like to connect it, or religious people would like to connect it and say it is part of science. Now the very difference here is that science is, if you take any particular incident in science, and when they try to prove something, it is something which can be replicated, and it can be replicated by anybody else at random, and they will all arrive at the same answer. But when it comes to religion or miracles, it's not the same for everyone. You see, I might be able to cure you as a Godman, but I might not be able to cure somebody else. Now that is not science. So science is something where it is applicable to anybody on earth. Gravity applies to me, it applies to anybody else sitting over here. But suddenly, religious tolerance, a blessing from God will happen to a cancer patient A, but will not happen to a cancer patient B. So there is a problem. And this is what is very dangerous.
I was behind, I don't want to take the name, I was behind a school of thought for, I'd like to call it a school of thought rather than this thing, spiritual institution, for 2 years. And I tried convincing myself that it is giving me peace, it's giving me happiness. But no, I mean, I'm better off without associating myself with anything. I mean, I've just like...
Was it easy for you to extricate yourself from it?
No, I mean, I don't have to necessarily align my thought to what somebody says. Somebody tells me, you jump and you be happy, that is happiness. No, I sit quietly in a place, I'm feeling happy. Why do I have to necessarily align with what you think, your definition of happiness and your definition of attaining God, to think, that's the only way I can attain. I have my own ways of attaining God. My point is...
What draws youngsters to these spiritual gurus?
No, there's a huge crowd, there's a mob mentality. I have 3 of my friends joining this thing.
Obviously, is it like going to tuition class?
Not exactly. I wouldn't take it to that level. But then obviously 3 of them are having fun out there. I don't want to be left out. That's exactly what is happening.
Very true. It's actually very true, very often.
The youngsters following the gurus, it's actually glamour, because if we follow a guru, then we can go and tell our friends, see, I'm following a guru, and they'll, oh, you're getting mental peace.
And you have to follow these gurus who come drive in a BMW that's well over a crore, and then they get on and they say, practice a simple life. Obviously, I want to buy a BMW. I don't want to practice a simple life.
So double standards there, just like politicians.
Absolutely, yeah.
What is it that makes gurus, if you're saying magic and miracles are the same, what is it that makes gurus much more successful than all the PC sarkars?
That is what they are able to make, like a perfect story, a background story. So if you need spirituality, then you can take up yoga, or you can concentrate on yourself. Why do we have to depend on? I would say that this Godmen are miniatures of Adolf Hitler. He was he was able to galvanize the whole world and create a world war. Similarly, this is just the beginning of the end. I would say the Godmen.
That's true, and it's very interesting. You should bring a PC Sarkar over there, because he actually did challenge a Godman, very popular Godman in India.
Absolutely.
I'd like to say something. I think the difference between magicians and these religious leaders is that religious leaders more often seem to be very wonderful speakers, and magicians just do their duty and they leave. And these people come. There's a difference between saying you are happy and saying you are happy.
So I have one more thing to say. If we take out all over India. Now in a particular state, if there, not in a state, in an area, if there is some 10 lakhs population, among 1 lakh, 2 of them are Godmen. If it's like that, then I can be a Godman, you can be a Godman, and everyone can be a Godman. So what is the necessary of them being proclaimed?
It's
no.
Others will get it. No, if everybody tries.
I have an example. Now, in one particular state, I saw it through a channel. I actually don't know what the reality is, but I saw it through a channel. A person, he did not take bath for 22 years, and he says he doesn't stink. So that is a great power, and he eats food which is stale by 6 to 7 days or something like that, and he says that is a medicine. What is the logic in that? What is the logic in that? There is no logic.
Yeah, the lady next to you, yes.
Even in Kasi, the body is burning, but it doesn't stink, it seems. How it is possible? How it is nothing? And that fellow is saying that he's a saint and eating the dead body flesh. What is this? It's really ridiculous. How can it be accepted?
Knowledge. They say that we have to realize our own duties. Even we have a surrounding of parents, of teachers, and everyone. There is we need not depend on Godmen. If we are ready to accept the situations in which we are able to understand, that is what is education. Okay.
But why is that a lot of youngsters are swayed by them? They don't want to confide in their parents or their friends or perhaps even counselors, but they turn to Godmen and then things go wrong.
The people are fed up with politicians. When they hear that Godmen are doing lot of social activities, they to do their activities, to join them, they are attracted towards that. So some wrong things happen in that, they are getting disguised, then they are in a mood.
Do you believe that there's a need for introspection among spiritual gurus, that all is not well? All is not well and that they definitely need to do a rethink?
No, sir. We should not forget that Sai Baba has fed more than 400 villages
Fair
in
enough.
Andhra.
There are examples like
Even
Sai Baba, Mata Amritanda Mai, Mother Teresa, missionaries of charity. There are people who do good work. But there are others who also give them a bad name.
We should prefer who are good to the people.
Good work, wasn't it?
Yeah, he did lot of social activities. See, with this one act, it is between two individuals. It has been made public.
But they were protested. Your party protested.
Yeah, because he breached with the saffron, he did that. We, as a Hindu party, we agitated for that.
All the social activities he did was just an eyewash for what he was actually doing
You
internally.
believe it will? What he did was, he's got discovered and it's negated all the other work he has done? No, you don't believe.
He is doing lot of social activities. We have seen it.
Does that negate all the other good work?
If Nityananda had declared himself, after all, he has set up his own Pita, Dhyana Pita. Like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was living with his wife but considered her as mother. So if he had declared that she is or somebody is my wife and all, nobody would have bothered about that, because the transparency was not there, because he was believing that he was a brahmachari.
To my specific query as to whether it negates all the other good work, does it?
See, good work, again I go back to a point which I made earlier. Good work can be done in spite of these tags. We do not need these tags. So that is a separate entity, this is a separate entity. I could be somebody who is Robin Hood, I'm thieving somewhere and I'm giving it to the poor. So that does not make me a good guy, I'm still a thief. Okay? I might be helping the poor, but I'm still a thief. So these are two different things.
As even Veerappan had claimed once.
Exactly. So Veerappan did the same thing. So the point is that, does it negate his good work? No, his good work is a good work, great. But does he require any reverence because he did good work? No. Because good work can be done by anybody.
See, very often you find that those who are in the eye of a scandal are gullible people, people who are vulnerable. For instance, widows or divorcees or young women who have an identity problem. So many of them actually target these vulnerable sections. Is that the case?
Yeah, that is true. Because unfortunately in our country, we do not have a very good, psychological therapeutic system in which somebody who's going through mental stress can be taken care of.
Going to a shrink is still, there's a stigma attached to going to a shrink.
Yeah, so that's the whole problem. In India, for some reason, going to a psychologist or a psychiatrist is bad. In America, it's a fashion statement. So going by that, here what do you do when you have a problem? You go for spiritual guidance. And he tells you whatever he wants to, and then you have to believe it. See, and that's where everything goes wrong.
Do you believe that the time has come for us to, in fact, do a rethink on celibacy, which is self-imposed? There are a lot of priests. There are priests who are married and who have children, and there are people who impose celibacy on themselves. Has the time come now to do you believe, sir?
It's up to the individual, I would say. I mean, we cannot impose a code of conduct saying.
But when you impose it, you need to stick by it, right?
Yeah. If you impose if you impose it on yourself, you have to be very, very serious and committed. And what is the purpose for which you are imposing it? Is it to get name, fame, and money? No. If you really want to advance in spiritual life, Adi Shankara was there. There's so many gurus who have been Naishtika brahmacharis. They want to advance spiritually to realize
Celibacy helps that?
Yeah, because it helps you control your senses. And if you're not able to control the senses, no, I'm saying you're supposed
to. More often than not, they're not able to.
You're not. No, if you don't have
the other way around,
No, Bhagavad Gita says, Krishna says very clearly, if you're not qualified, if you're not able to control your senses, don't take celibacy.
Even in Vaishnavism, the people, the Gurujis, are from the family life, because they will be at 60 and 70 after completing their family duties. And in fact, even in a Protestant Christianity, the priests are from the family.
There are Protestant priests who are married, yes.
Married. So nothing wrong, whether you are brahmachari or you are in the family way, you should be clean. That's all. It is not a brahmacharyam or anything. You must be transparent.
We say that God is within ourselves. So why do we need an intermediate to just get to God?
Lord Buddha. Okay, there was Sai Baba. They were also Godmen. They didn't ask anyone any money. Okay. They did their work. They spread awareness within people. So they are real Godmen. Tell me, why should we give money to these people and the so-called Godmen?
No, if you feel
no, it's not our problem. If you go to them,
Swami, do you believe why should the young people want to know why should Godmen necessarily wallow in wealth, right?
Yeah. Not all Godmen are wallowing in wealth.
Many of them, right?
Maybe the fake ones. The fake ones. There are genuine gurus.
Wait.
Allow me
to complete that. No, for the
they
simple
are using that as to just collect donations.
Allow me to complete that one. For the simple reason, these godmen, while coming into this market, Godmen market, they have their own calculation that. Okay. So absolutely, I mean, they know that, I mean, what are the values and all that, they don't stand for the value that, their value, only they talk about it, I mean, these so-called Godmen. So absolutely, you know, these people are almost all, I can say, maybe here and there, they may be few genuine people, that is.
Sai Baba, we're all in a different generation. Now we're in the 21st century and the world works with money. Everything is based on money and everybody works for money. That's what rules the world now. And even these people, I don't find a reason as to why they should think different.
You want to answer? I mean, that's
money, is it?
The younger
So you
generation
justify the
seems to-
fact that they need money.
Saying that everyone is after money, and they're also normal humans after all, and that's the thing
If you want to print books, if you want to educate people, you want to spread your message, you need money. You can't just sit in a hut and nobody will come to you at all.
He was telling that all the religious gurus they are doing some social service. So you can't do some social service without money. Today, to serve, you need some money, and for that they are asking donations.
Wait, we're running out of time. Yes, Mr. Kannan, yes, sir.
No government asks for money. All individuals, they are searching for people to carry their pain and burden. If somebody is ready to carry the pain, they are ready to put it on them. For them, they are ready to pay it. So they are taking this government as their burden carrier.
He's 100% right.
And they are paying for it.
I'd like to add to what he just said right now.
I can show you the printed records. So for example, Kalki Bhagwan prints that first level 1, I mean, Diksha, 5,000 rupees. And level 2 Diksha, 7,000 rupees. And highest level of Mukti Diksha, 21 days, I mean, 21,000 rupees. And nobody asks, no. And a poor man goes and he has little less money.
You're right.
He will be dragged out of the ashram.
You're right on that issue. Both of you are right. You see, the point is, he is printing it, okay? And people are going for the reason what he said.
Fine. On that note, that's
you are going
you want
there
to put your
because
sin on somebody.
Yes.
All right.
You are searching for people.
This debate, yes, Mr. Swami, this debate can go on and on, but clearly as long as there's human misery in the world, there will be godmen. As long as there are godmen, there will be followers. It's worth asking the question, are the hands that help holier than the lips that pray? What do you think, viewers? You can email us to feedback@ndtv-hindu.com. But from all of us on the Chennai Speaks Out team, thank you for watching. Thank you, panelists and the audience, for making this a very lively debate, an honest, candid, mature debate. We'll see you again next week at the same time.